Hello class. So in this video we're going to look at layers for your CAD elevations. Now you should look at this video really at the beginning of the process. I showed you how to set up the elevations and how to draw them from plans in previous videos, but really you can sort of be doing this stuff all simultaneously. Nonetheless, if you followed the steps in the videos that I just put out before this, you're going to have a document that looks like this, where your plans are aligned and your elevations are designed and aligned down here. And so in this case, this is the completed elevations based on my work without any layers. Again, you can draw layers from the very beginning. But what I've also provided for my students on their online learning tool is this file that they can go to and open, which is a suggested list of layers, names, colors, and most importantly, the reason why we do this is line weights. So I have some suggestions which you can use for plan. Now in the plans, the plan layers are already given to you, so you don't really need to worry about this. So you really want to look at this column over here, which is for elevation, sections, and details. I like to use color 1, red, very thin, and it has a line weight of 0.05. And I'll quickly show how to make a layer here at the end of this video, but I imagine most of my students already know how to do this. Anyway, yellow and so on and so forth. Cyan is medium, and so this is a layer name. Now I like to use 0, 1 very thin, 0, 2 thin, 0, 3 medium. I put the 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3 here because AutoCAD does it alphabetically, so it organizes my layers from the thinnest to the thickest. And if I didn't do that, you'd have a mixed match of layer order. I just find that to be confusing. So a little trick of adding the 0, 1 very thin, 0, 2 thin, so on and so forth really helps. Of course, the important thing is getting these numbers right. Again, this video is not to talk about what choices you should make about thicknesses for your elevation. Maybe I can do that in a follow-up video right after this one. This is just sort of CAD standards and how to do that and how to set that up. Nonetheless, if you have a different layer standard, I know many of you have been in other classes that have used AutoCAD. Feel free to use those other standards. The point is that you're using layers and that you're using line weights and you're being consistent in that your elevations look good. That's the point of this class. So if you want to use another standard, go ahead and do that. But if you don't, I find this one to be a very nice, easy one. Again, this is uploaded on our online learning tool called Venko Hall, so you can get there from here. So I'm going to just sort of put this to a side and again sort of show you the steps of creating that. You're going to go to your layer properties. I think everyone probably knows this, and if you know how to make a layer and sort of make line weights from them, go ahead and skip the rest of this video and move on ahead. But pull up the layer properties is going to pull up a box that looks like this, and I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger on my screen. There you go. And let's make sure I don't have those layers in there. Good, I purged it out. Couldn't remember if I had done that or not. So if I want to make a new layer, I'm just going to click this layer button and go 0, 1, dash or space, or I guess I just have a space, very thin. And to set the color, I'm just going to click on this little white box. I call it color 1, which is red, and continuous line weight is perfectly fine there, but the thickness I'll do the 0.05 millimeters, which is the thinnest preset AutoCAD layer, and I say OK, and there we go, we have that layer. And I can go again 0, 2 thin and make this yellow, and the line weight will be 0.15. Now one of the things you'll notice that I have done is I won't make all these layers, but I'll do this last one here. Make a new layer. Oops. Hit new layer button. 0, 3 medium, and it's going to be cyan. I skipped green, but cyan, and it will be 0.25. 0.25. You can see what I've done in the colors is I go thinnest to red and I go darkest to magenta all the way over. So each step along the way is a thicker and thicker line weight. It's just a visual clue. Again, not everyone does this. I find it to be very useful. There's lots of ways of manipulating color in AutoCAD to give a sense of line weight and line type and object type. I'm not going to get into all that in the video. I think in other videos somewhere I've mentioned all those details. But that's just I'm just pointing that out for the students who are using this standard. You can see that red is the lightest, yellow's next, cyan's next, and blue and magenta sort of increasingly get thicker and thicker in line weight. So again, I'm not going to go here. You can do that. That's pretty simple to create the line weights. Of course, once they're all made, then you apply them. You can either change your layer from the very beginning to start drawing with that color in layer, in line weight, of course, just like something like that. That sort of silliness, or, which is often the case, especially in elevations, you've drawn a bunch of stuff and you have to change the line weight after. That's also pretty simple. Just sort of come in, select something that might be on a line weight that you want, and then come up to the layer, click on it, and we can see that that has changed entirely that way. And so you're going to go and set all your layers. You're going to draw all these elevations, and again, here's the preview, but there's this particular house all drawn out, all with layers. So what I'll do is I think I will just make a follow-up video from this one, which is just some techniques for how to choose your elevation line weights. Again, these are students, you've been here for a little while. For my students, you should know these rules. But for review, it always makes sense. So I'll see you in that video.